JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, St. James cops nabbed accused murderer in 20 minutes. The police are reporting the arrest of a murder suspect in St. James yesterday, within minutes of the crime being committed. The victim was 39-year-old Ryan Stevenson, a vendor of Retirement District, St. James. The police said that about 4:10 p.m., Stevenson and the accused were involved in an altercation during which a knife was used to inflict stab wounds to Stevenson. He was transported to the hospital by residents and was later pronounced dead. The police were called, and contact was made with a quick response team that was in the area. The accused was apprehended 20 minutes later, the police said. He's expected to be interviewed in the presence of his attorney before formal charges are laid. St. Elizabeth man accused of stabbing woman who rejected his advances. 30-year-old Denroy Whiteley of Dalton District in St. Elizabeth was arrested and charged for wounding with intent following an incident in his community on September 10. Reports from the Malvern police are that about 6:20 a.m. the complainant and Whiteley were at home when Whiteley reportedly made sexual advances towards her. She allegedly refused and was later awakened by a stab wound to the upper body. She managed to escape and was assisted to the hospital, where she was admitted for treatment. An investigation was launched and Whiteley was charged yesterday. His court date is being finalized. 2 died in Westmoreland collision. 2 men died as a result of injuries they received in a motor vehicle collision on the Mearnsville Main Road in Westmoreland yesterday. They are 22-year-old Isaac Stevens and 26-year-old Gregory Parchment, both of White House in the parish. Reports from the Savlamore police are that about 1:55 p.m., Stevens and Parchment were aboard a motorcycle traveling towards White House when the motorcycle collided with a truck that was traveling in the opposite direction. The police were alerted and Parchment and Stevens were transported to the hospital where they were pronounced dead. Investigations continue. Police released identities of men killed during shootout in St. Mary. Investigators have released the identities of 2 men who were fatally shot during a reported confrontation with the police in St. Mary on Saturday. They have been identified as 27-year-old Worrell Brown and 25-year-old Carl Garnett, both of Buff Bay, Portland. The men were shot during a police operation in Agualta Vale. It was reported that the police were conducting spot checks along the Iterborough Main Road when they signaled a car to stop. The driver disobeyed and the police chased the vehicle. During a reported exchange of gunfire, the men were fatally shot and an illegal gun seized. Man finds money. He accused cops of stealing. A St. Thomas man who accused police of stealing $200,000 from his home after they searched his property was proven wrong after he found the money in the same drawer he had been keeping it in. Richardo Hibberts angrily journeyed to the Seaforth police station on Sunday to file a report that lawmen from the Morant Bay police station had stolen the money earlier that day. But on Tuesday, he realized that the money was right where he left it. He did the same place in the drawer, but at the back in our legal envelope. Me realized this after me talked to my auntie. She told me that she put the money in an envelope before, he said. But Hibberts said that he does not regret making the report because he's adamant that the police illegally entered his home. Me never the home, and them tear off the windows and went inside the house. Them going out the house without me being present. No one was there. Them turned the house upside down. And my neighbor them called me and tell me the police in my yard. Them said the police tearing out my windows, he said. Them come by my house not even a month before saying they were searching for drugs and gun. Me tell them can't come in my house and search for drugs and gun and me no gunman. Me don't have a criminal record, I'm a registered farmer. So then come back again and this time I wasn't there. Christopher Banner, a cop at the Seaforth station, said he advised Hibberts to check his home properly before making the report. He came back Tuesday morning and him tell me that him find the money. When him come Sunday night, I tell him to check first before he make the allegations. You can't just do it so you not check. But that is what he said and the report was taken, Banner said. These things do happen. People just feel like police come and overstep them boundaries. Meanwhile, Deputy Superintendent Fayval Williams of the Morant Bay Police said that an investigation regarding Hibbert's other claims of property damage is ongoing. His report was appreciated and it is being investigated. He made a report that he was away from his house and learned that the police were at his house, he said. Murders down 4% so far this year. A 50% spike in murders in St. Ann and an almost similar increase in the Kingston Western Police Division have pushed Jamaica's murder total since the start of this year to 891. However, this number is still a shade below the 932 reported for the same period last year. Official year-to-date crime figures from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, show murders down by 4.4% up to September 12 when compared to the corresponding period last year. In St. Ann, the police have recorded 48 murders so far this year, up from 32 last year. The Kingston Western Police Division has recorded 69 murders this year compared to 48 last year, for a 44% jump. The other worrying police divisions are Kingston Central, where murders are up 35%, and St. Mary, where the 22 murders reported so far this year, although relatively low, represent a 47% increase over last year. On the other side, policing measures in Clarendon, including a state of emergency that was recently lifted, have led to a 37% reduction in murders, with 64 recorded so far this year, down from 102 over the same period last year. The problem-plagued St. Andrew South Police Division, which covers more than 15 violence-prone communities, including Seaview Gardens, Olympic Gardens, Painland, and the sections of Maxfield Avenue, continues to lead the island with a number of murders, 94, but that still represents a 13% reduction compared to last year. Other major crimes are also down, with 860 shooting incidents reported to the police up to last Saturday, a 4% drop when compared to last year. The police have also recorded a 12% decline in the number of rape cases and an 11% decline in the number of robberies reported. The JCF is expected to announce several measures to further reduce crime following a recent meeting with returned Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang. Education Ministry forms COVID-19 Task Force. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information yesterday announced the creation of an Education COVID-19 Management Task Force, e-COVID, to be chaired by Portfolio Minister Fayval Williams. The minister said the task force was formed in an effort to help bring greater clarity to the roadmap for the reopening of schools. The e-COVID task force will arrive at a consensus on the reopening and management of schools amid the COVID-19 pandemic, the ministry said in a statement yesterday. Williams made the announcement during a meeting attended by Minister of State Robert Nestor Morgan, members of the executive of the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, led by President Jasford Gabriel, immediate past President Owen Speed, and Secretary General Baron Farquharson, as well as senior officers of the ministry. The e-COVID task force will comprise representatives of stakeholder groups in the education sector, including the JTA, Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, the Joint Committee for Tertiary Education, Jamaica Union of Tertiary Students, UA Guild of Students, National Council on Education, the Jamaica Independent Schools Association, among others, the ministry said. During the meeting, Williams assured the JT of the ministry's commitment to maintaining robust and open communication with the association. The ministry said the discussions focus on the infrastructure in place at schools to allow for online and remote learning, as well as the administrative protocols which schools will have to implement for the new school year. Morgan reiterated the ministry's commitment to having a comprehensive solution covering health, education, and technology to ensure that students, parents, teachers, administrators, and other stakeholders will remain safe and engaged. For his part, Gabriel noted that Jamaica is facing challenging times and commended the ministry for the efforts made to train teachers for online teaching, the preparation and sharing of the Education in Emergencies manual, and provision of material for sanitization in schools, among other things. St. Catherine man charged for breaching election law. 56-year-old Ian Walters, a truck driver and a licensed fireholder of Meadowvale Drive in Portmore, St. Catherine, was arrested and charged on Thursday for breaching election day laws. The police say he was charged for being armed with an offensive weapon within 100 meters of a polling station. It is reported that about 9 a.m., cops on duty at a polling station in the Lauriston community observed Williams with what appeared to be a weapon and quickly intercepted him. He was searched and the firearm was found on his person. He was taken into custody and the firearm seized. His court date is being finalized. 5 new COVID-19 deaths, 210 new cases. Jamaica has recorded 5 COVID-19 related deaths in the last 24 hours, bringing the island's death toll to 51. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the 5 new deaths include an 81-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew who had congestive cardiac failure, diabetes and hypertension, a 71-year-old woman from St. Catherine who had a history of diabetes and hypertension, and a 69-year-old man from Kingston and St. Andrew. The ministry noted that 2 of the deaths, which were formerly placed under investigation and have since been confirmed as COVID-19 related, include a 76-year-old woman from St. Catherine who had a history of hypertension and diabetes, and a 46-year-old woman from Westmoreland who had a terminal illness. The island also recorded 210 new cases, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 4,374, of which 3,016 are active. Of the newly confirmed cases, there were 100 males and 110 females with ages ranging from 79 days to 88 years. There were also 45 recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 1,225. JBN. We keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.